Hey, so what's happening? So the other day I went to do some work on the boat and I pulled my covers off and I found that due to the rain, my boat was full of water. And in the bottom of my boat, I had my two trolling motors that were totally submerged in the water. So, I've had them drying out in the car for a couple of days, and I'm going to pull them apart and see what kind of damage has been done to them. I have not hooked them up to see if they work or not. If you go back, I don't know if I did a video on it or not, but when I first got my first motor, I lost it in the river. Well, I didn't lose it because I actually got it back, but it totally submerged in the river. And of course I went online and everybody's like, oh yeah, turn it upside down, empty it out, and blah blah blah, you know, it'll be fine. Well, I did that and the bearing ended up going bad in that motor, and I replaced the bearing in it, and it's been doing fine since. So I don't want to wait on this one and end up having to put a bearing in it, because to be honest, it was a pain in the butt getting that bearing off and getting the bearing back on. So I bought me some electrical cleaner, and I'll show you the brand that I'm going to use. And it's safe on plastic and computer boards. And I've never had the top part out, so I'm thinking there's a computer board in it. I had the bottom apart on my first one, but I'm going to start out with the second motor that I had. And I tried to take it apart at home and I didn't have a screwdriver, blah 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 blah, so whatever. So I'm here at the shop, and I'm going to try to make a video of this in case somebody has a problem like this. Maybe it'll help them out in saving a motor, and not have to buy a bearing. So that's where we're at. So I've already got motor and a vise, and you're gonna have to excuse the noise. It's kind of hot today and we got the fans running in the shop, so I've caught up with my work, and so we're gonna do it here. So yeah, I'll put you on a tripod and we're gonna go from there. Appreciate you watching. So I'm going to start out from the top. This is the screw here that you have to remove if you ever want to rotate this whole head assembly around to make it bow mount or transverse mount. But we're not going to take that out right now. The main ones we just want to get this cover off right here. So I'm going to take this one out, this one out. There's one here, there's one here, and if you look, there's one right there, and then another one right there. And then this cover should come off is what I'm hoping. And so we'll get that done first. Now these in here are Phillips head screwdrivers. If you have a screwdriver like this, guess what? It ain't gonna work. The end is too big. So you need to get a screwdriver, you know, that's kind of, it's not super long, but you just need a standard screwdriver. You can't get that big end in it, it's a quarter inch bit that goes in it. That screwdriver is not going to work. Oh, must be missing a screw. 1, 2, 3. No, we're good. Okay. Oh, okay. Alright, so I'll show you what we got on the other side here. So we got those screws out, and it's not a computer board in here. Basically we got some wires, and The ends look really good. I don't know why my focus isn't working. There's no corrosion on them or anything. This is this is the mechanism that it's all connected to, but you know what? This almost looks like it's plastic welded together. I don't see no screws in it or anything. Let's see if I can. I don't think there's any screws in the bottom of it. Let's see what we got here. So a little handle just comes off. If you look, it only goes on one way. It's got the little flat spot in it. So there's a spotter in there. Yeah, there's no screws in this at all. It actually looks pretty clean, which I don't know. There's no gasket in it, so I don't know. Yeah. Well, that's actually kind of cool. Get this spotter out of here. So, we'll just put this back in. Let's see here. Well, I thought maybe it clipped. Oh, it does clip in. There's a little clip right here. That clip clips in the bottom there. So just make sure you don't pinch any wires. Anywhere, and stick it back in just like that. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. If water got in it, I don't know how I would get it apart. I'd have to break it apart. So we're going to go ahead and put a piece back on. Oh, put a handle back on first. And that just sets in a little cradle. That handle sets in a little cradle right here. And then you just put your top back on. Now I'm surprised there's no gasket of any kind, but the thing is, if water gets in it, the water gets in through here where it goes down, and it gets into this pipe and it goes down to the motor. That's where I made the mistake, because water was still in the motor. And I did not know that on the last time I had an issue. Alright. I feel like it's going on exactly right. No, it's not. Something ain't right. Locked in there. Ah. let's see what has to happen. I think we have to make sure that that piece right there goes behind this tab right here. Or maybe it sets in the tab. Ah, it sets in the tab, I think. Now let's try it. Oh yeah, there we go. So yeah, just make sure that that little round piece sits in the tab and that the switch, I'm going to call it, fits in there. And then we'll put our screws back in. And we're going to start on the bottom end. We'll make sure everything works fine like it's supposed to. Well, my handle's a little off though. Eh. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, that's 5. 4, 3, 2, 1. Off. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, the handle's off a little bit. Ah, that sucks. Okay, so I'm going to take all this off so I can get this lined up right. I'm not sure what I have to do. Maybe I have to turn the whole switch assembly. But, so you might want to make sure of that before you put it back on. Yeah. Give us a little spray of silicone. I don't know if that'll help or not. Oh yeah, a little bit easier. Alrighty. Now for the motor side. Got a little nut right here. There's a slot in that nut. It's a 1/2 inch nut. Get your screwdriver that fits. This one's too big. Oh, my focus. My autofocus is not focusing. It's not good. Time for an upgrade. I think I just cracked. I did. I just cracked this in a vise. Look what I just did, folks. I thought I heard a pop. I'm gonna be really mad now. See if I can get this to focus right. You can see it right there. Right there. I just cracked it. Well, I'm gonna say I just did this motor in. God darn it. Alright, take some JB weld and put on that. Yep, I heard a pop. Look at that. Well, so much for that Minn Kota, huh? They're supposed to be like all. I mean, I don't even have that in there that tight. Look. God damn, I'm gonna buy me another camera. Look, I don't even have that in there that tight. Well, let's continue on. Nothing else, I'll take this apart and, like I say, maybe it'll help somebody else out. Damn sure would not put it in a vise when working on this. Thing is, I've had this in a vise before. Didn't have no problems with it. Take this off, you got a washer. Got this. This lines up. We got a little pin area that this pin right here sets in. Take that pin out. We're going to take these two screws out right there. Before I took my last one apart, I made marks. So that I would get this back together in the same place. And we're going to do the same thing here. These are pretty long bolts. These bolts are a hassle to get in. There's little bitty teeny O-rings in there, and that is to keep water out when it is in the water. I'll give you a little look-see. See a little teeny weeny O-ring, and you can get O-ring kits for these if I'm not mistaken. There's a little O-ring right there. And yes, there's water in here. I'll show you a little, see if I can get you down in there. See that? That little area right there, that's water. Sorry, my camera's not behaving. It's right here. Look at that. That's water. So we got to dry this thing out. Now, this thing right here, I'm not electrical, so this thing comes out. Or I should say this cover comes off. This is a royal pain because there's all of these are magnets right here. So what we want to do is we want to take this off, and you got to be pretty good with it. Yeah, see, look, it's rusting in there, and the way that the water gets in there is in that head, because this head, I mean, there's a hole here, and that's, I guess, to keep everything cool. I don't know. But once the water gets in here, there's nothing to keep it from going down in this tube. And this tube goes down in there, and water gets in it. Oh yeah, look, there's a ton of water in there. Look at this. See if I can get that shot down in there. It's probably not gonna. See that? That's water. That's water all in there. Yeah, you can see the droplets. So we're going to dry all this off real good, and we're going to spray it down with some contact cleaner. I actually had my old trolling motor that I got with my John boat. I actually hit something with it and it broke these out. These are glued in. They're just glued in. That's it. There's nothing that holds it except for glue. And I couldn't get them back in there, so I ended up buying this Endura. So I'm going to turn this motor around. And pull this out. I believe this comes out. I think. Yes, it does. To get this out, it's all coming back to me now. We're going to take this piece out here too. And it won't come out all the way, because if you look right in there, let me get you close up here. These are spring loaded. These little pieces right here, so you can pull them back. Well, you got to pull both of these back at the same time, because the bearing right there, this is the actual bearing that I replaced, now that I remember, the one that's on this piece here. So what we got to do is we got to get a little teeny screwdriver. Or a little pick. And kind of got to hold that vac while we get these out. And this whole piece comes out. This is the one that I had to replace. Oh, I got my, hold on. I'm doing this all. This is the bearing that I had to replace. This thing was a bitch to get off and a bitch to get back on. So we're going to spray this really good and let it dry. So I'm going to flip this around, show you how much water's in this thing. And see, you can't get that out. That's not going to come out. So this is the cleaner that I got. Quick drying. It is made for plastic and for computer boards. And I'm just going to set this on the trash can. Spray it down really good. Compressed air and spray all this down. Now when you blow compressed air in here, make sure you don't lose those springs that are in there that hold those brushes in, I think is what they're called. And I'm just gonna give her one more spray. I can still see some droplets of water in there. Now, I've never done this before, and I don't even know if it's going to work, but if it does, it'll save me from having to buy another motor. But like I say, I've already cracked that up there. I'm going to get some JB weld or something and put on that. I got some stuff here, it's Honda Bond. That might work. Yeah, that looks a whole lot better. Oh yeah. You know, it's not as rusty as I thought it was going to be. Even these brushes aren't rusted up. So I'm hoping doing this is going to save this motor. I will do the other one the same way. So now we got to get this back in. This is the fun part. I got one there. Get him pushed back. Hey, how you doing?
How you doing, sir?
You dropping one off?
Yeah, I called a little bit earlier
Oh, about alternator?
about the alternator probably.
Okay.
Shot, yeah.
All right. Alrighty, this is the hard part here, and you almost need two people to really do this. You gotta back this spring up in here. Put this brush in. And you gotta do the same to the other side. Problem is, you gotta do this at the same time. Like I said, if you had two people, make it a whole lot easier to do. Alright, so I got both of them in. Now we have to slide this in one side while pushing the other side in, and then it slides in around the bottom of that. The bottom of that bearing. Now you have to get these pushed back around this piece here. And it sits in that little hole. And you're all done. Now I'm going to take this piece here. I'm going to take this piece here and I'm going to clean this over in the trash can with some of that contact cleaner. And we got that air dried. Now we got to get this on. Like I say, this is magnetized, so this can be a little bit of a pain to get down in here. Make sure you got the right side, the O-ring right there. Goes down in that. And then line your paint marks up. And then we got this piece to get on, which this can be a little bit of a pain, because these things are hard to line up and get started. Make sure you lined up. I actually got pretty lucky with that one anyway. Well, this one's not going to be lucky. There we go. Well, I don't think that one's in. Huh. That one is. Let's loosen him up. Yeah, this one ain't in. There we go. I think that's it. Nope. This is what's a pain. See, the hole's down here, so that's what the problem there. Finding the hole. I think we got it that time. Just snug them up. Put your pin in. Put your blade on. Washer. And your nut. Tighten that down and we're good to go. So I got me some wires here going to a battery that I'm charging. Let's see what this thing does. Oh yeah. Nice and quiet. Try reverse. Awesome. Awesome. So there you have it. A little teardown of a Minn Kota Endura 30. If you ever run into a situation where you got to pull the motor apart, it's not super hard to do. Just getting them little brushes in is kind of a pain, and them screws is a little bit of a pain, but I'm going to do this to my other motor. Looking at this one, I don't think that I'm going to have a really big issue with the bearings and all. I mean, it pretty much looked pretty good, but there was water in it, so it could have turned out pretty nasty. But yeah, I appreciate you watching, and of course this one's got the crack in it now, so I'm going to have to do something about that. I guess I'm going to hit it with some JB weld or something. Yeah, I'll have to think about that later. But appreciate you watching. Yeah, thanks a lot. Subscribe, like, you know, all that good stuff. If you learned something, if I missed something, or you know, you got a better way of doing this or whatever. Like I said, this is the first time I've had one motor apart, but I've never taken the head apart. Pretty simple deal. Thanks a lot.